Hey guys, so it is a casual video. Got my sweatshirt on from Glamour Kills. Wore this to school today, so yeah, I just got, well, not just got, I got coffee, but I got home recently from school and I just felt like doing a talky video. I haven't done just like one of these sit down casual type psychology-based videos in a while. That's exactly what this is. It is psychology-based and it's all about it's mental health, and it's basically going to be more on the end of a rant. That makes sense. It's gonna be more of a rant than anything. It's not gonna be that informational or anything, no advice given. It's just kind of gonna be me discussing some various topics about mental health. Now, we're gonna start with my current mental health because I feel like it's important, it's relevant to state in this video, but I didn't want to make a specific video for it because you can read why in my blog post. And referring to that blog post, you would already know what I'm gonna say. I will link the blog post down below, and I posted that a couple days ago, and yeah, so basically I wanted to tell you that I suffer from SAD, basically seasonal affective disorder, and I have for many years, and this is the first year that I've sought help for it. You guys might remember last year, Vlogmas time, it was really bad, and I would, complain a lot about it. So this year I was put on antidepressants, so I'm on those right now. I've been on them for about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks I believe, and they are working really well and I really like it. The only thing of the side effects are kind of hard to deal with. There's some obvious ones that are inconvenient, like the sleeping all the time. Like, I just want to sleep all the time. Anyway, that's kind of where I stand with that. Mine is temporary. With seasonal affective disorder, it changes with the seasons. So most of the time, it's most common that it occurs in winter, and that's how it is for me. And it's not necessarily the weather, it's more the time of year. Which is kind of hard to explain. But anyway, it normally goes away around my birthday, which is in March. So one thing I want to touch on, one of the first topics, is the reason why I didn't want to make a whole video on it is for personal reasons. It's not because I didn't want to tell you guys or anything. It's because although so many people are coming out with the fact they have depression or anxiety, specifically those two disorders, and I know OCD, some people have come out with the fact they have OCD, which I think is amazing to see all these videos of people with large platforms sharing their experience and things that they have and are dealing with. I think it's really inspirational. And but one of the reasons why I didn't want to put anything out there in a formal video is because of the hate that these people are getting in the comments. And I consider it hate, but it might just be criticism. A lot of people are commenting saying, well, you say you have depression, but you were just happy in your last video, so I don't get it. Huge misconception, which I'll get into later, but that's not how depression works. Same thing with anxiety, specifically social anxiety. I have seen Acacia post that she has social anxiety, and then she would post a picture of herself in a bikini on Instagram, and the criticism she got from that is ridiculous. They're like, so how about that social anxiety? That's not how social anxiety works either, and it's different for everybody, so keep that in mind. I hate seeing all these people get criticized for their mental disorders when these people are clearly uneducated about it and uneducated in the fact that it's different for everybody. Chances are we'll all have a mental disorder at some point in our lives. For people to criticize and say, well, I don't think you have that, or you act happy, how can you be depressed, is ridiculous to me, because that's not how it works, and that's not how mental disease works. And I get so frustrated reading those comments that I personally could not handle them. I would take the video down, and that is showing some weakness, but when it comes to a mental disorder or something that I have, I am so sensitive about it that I would not want to be attacked like that. That's really why I didn't post a video. And also, people think that these people are seeking attention or making it up. Also, something I want to address is the glamorization of mental illness, specifically on Tumblr. You see a lot of pictures glamorizing self-harm, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, and I don't like it. And there's a fine line between growing awareness to the disorder and glamorizing it. There's a fine line there, and I feel like it's been crossed a little bit to glamorization. And I might have personally taken part in this. I don't know what I've reblogged in the past. We all, you know, will see something that we like and reblog it and don't really think about it, but you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect and my blog isn't glamorizing it either. I'm just saying I'm not a huge fan, and I probably have, you know, been a part of it in some way, but I also didn't want to make a video about it because I didn't want to help with that. Not that it is glamorizing at all, or, you know, it's not glamorous, it's not a thing, but because so many people are coming out with it, I don't want other people to think that it's the cool thing to do now is to come out with a mental illness. That's not what it is, and I don't want to help promote anything like that. I think it's great that these people are bringing awareness to things, but also it can be harmful in the sense that people watching, seeing so many people come out with it, saying, well, maybe I want that, or, you know, like depression's cool now. And it's a very sensitive issue because I don't want to be one of those people that question others about their mental illness. And I also don't want to help glamorize it. So it's just a hard headspace to be in because I don't want to criticize anybody, but I also don't want people to, you know, promote it in a way that it's a glamorous thing. I'm sure that I'll get a lot of commentary on this video that I might not agree with, and that's fine as long as you're kind about it. It's okay to not have the same opinion as me. That is totally fine, and feel free to share it in the comments. I don't mind that. Just please don't criticize my opinion or break down my opinion or mental illness or anything like that. You know, the stigma still exists. It's getting better, but by no means is it where it should be. And I think bringing awareness to something is a really good way to help decrease the stigma against it. And I do think that people coming out with, or, you know, confessing or admitting, I don't know, it sounds bad when you say confessing, like it's a secret. These people who are saying that they have these things are inspiring people. They have a very large fan base, and so of course I would want their fans to be like, well, that's normal to an extent, but also I wouldn't want them to say, well, because my favorite YouTuber has depression, I want that now, or, you know, maybe I have that, and when they don't, or, you know, something like that. It just worries me a little bit, and I don't want any of you guys to take that the wrong way either, or think that it's cool in any way. But obviously the stigma's there, and we fight the stigma as much as we can, but I think there will always be a certain stigma involved with mental health. And, you know, I posted a quote on Instagram a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, I think, and it was basically saying that when we break a bone, everyone rushes to sign our cast, and then if we are sick of the mind, people look at you weird, or they think that something's wrong with you and they don't want to help you or talk to you like it's contagious, and people act strange. And I know that some people don't believe in therapy and don't believe in medication for mental illness, and don't even believe that mental illness even exists. And something that triggered this video is so random, but I was watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, and you know, Teresa and her brother Joe, well, they have issues, right? They were fighting. This was back in season 4, I believe, and he wanted to go to therapy, and she thought that was the most random, strange idea she's ever heard. And, you know, therapy can really help. I believe in therapy. Obviously, I want to be a counselor. And I was almost personally offended when she says that, you know, her and her family, they don't believe in therapy. They don't want someone else to mediate or, you know, help them, that they don't need the help, when clearly they do. Granted, she came around, they went through therapy, they even did this, like, getaway retreat weekend thing that helped. But ultimately, you know, her thought on therapy in the beginning was, you know, I feel like a lot of people have that mindset of therapy, and that's not good. You should know that it's definitely not a negative thing to seek help or even talk to your regular medical doctor, because that's how I went through getting my antidepressants, is telling my doctor, just my regular doctor. I didn't see a therapist or a psychiatrist, and you know, it helps. So however, I am thinking about going to counseling at my school because at Sac State you get, I think 17, I forget, free sessions with a counselor, and most of them are grad students in psychology. So they're basically peers, but they give you someone to talk to, and it's free for being a student. And if I do, I'll let you guys know how it goes. And I encourage you to do the same. I think everybody can use therapy. Everyone can talk to a therapist or someone, a neutral, you know, third party, whatever, and it will help. I think there's nothing bad that can come out of it, except people have been known to develop disorders because of therapy, because of being wrongfully diagnosed, and that is a bad thing. And it's almost devastating to hear that, because I'm, you know, in studying psychology right now, and it's like, oh shit, people are actually like, you know, the therapist is kind of leading them on to believe that it's something like depression or dissociative identity disorder, just leading them in that direction to make the patient believe that they have it. So regardless of that, I think therapy is good for everybody. I think everybody can use it. Now, I wanted to talk about some misconceptions about mental illness, because obviously, as I mentioned before, the criticism that these people are getting for coming out with their mental illness, these people act like they know everything about it, but clearly they do not, because you don't say to someone, you were just happy 5 seconds ago. Like, why? How can you say you're depressed? That's not how depression works. You can have ups and downs, highs and lows, and some people is a constant low. Some people is a sometimes low. But you can have up and down moments. I do. I generally try and film within those high moments, like right now, and not film in the low moments. So I understand a YouTuber only filming in high moments, and then people are saying that, well, she's not depressed because she acts happy in a video. And then again, with the Acacia comments being that she has social anxiety, people criticizing her for that, saying that she doesn't have it. Like, I don't understand how you can say that someone doesn't have a mental illness when you don't even know them personally. I just don't know how someone can say that, oh, you don't have it, or just based on what they see on the internet. And that's one of my biggest fears, is people criticizing it. You don't know what's in my head. Like, you don't know how I feel on a daily basis. So how can one stranger say that you do or don't have it? You're not a therapist, and you don't know me in real life. But also with bipolar disorder, I want to address that, because one of my pet peeves is when people use that term incorrectly. And I've never, okay, I can't say never used it incorrectly, because I might have back in the day, but ever since high school, it's been a pet peeve of mine that people say that someone is bipolar because they go through mood swings. So bipolar disorder has a couple different types. Type 1 is mania, so you mostly go through manic phases and episodes, which is basically a high peak. You have like an inflated self-esteem. You don't need sleep. You stay awake for days on end, and you have all these great ideas and these ambitions that you want to try, and your inhibitions, you know, go away, and you're more likely to do something damaging to yourself or other people because you're on this like rush of emotion. So if you've just had one manic episode, then you'll be diagnosed with bipolar 1, and then bipolar 2 is when you have a hypomanic episode, which is similar to a manic episode, but it's less severe, and then you also have an episode of depression. Now, you can have qualifiers that will have it be more like mood swings, as people refer to, such as bipolar 2 with mixed features, is basically when you can go from a hypomanic phase to a depressive state within a few hours, but that's pretty rare, and most people, their manic episodes last for weeks, or a week, or days, sometimes months, and then same thing with their depressive episodes. So it really varies from person to person, but in no way is that a mood swing. It doesn't, and it only involves mania and depression. It does not involve anger, sadness, fear, anything like that, happiness. It only involves those two stages. So for me, I don't like the term being thrown around that much, because that's not what it is, and people have this huge misconception that it equals mood swings when it doesn't. That's basically all the topics I wanted to talk about today. It's kind of a long video, but I just wanted to make a video about general mental health and just some comments and rants about things that I've been seeing on the internet, and stuff like that. So if you want another one of these, let me know and I can think of some other topics to discuss. Let me know your thoughts on any topics that I discussed in this video down in the comments, but please keep it nice. I really don't want to find comments like ones I've seen on Megan's or Acacia's videos, because I will just delete them / block, because I don't tolerate those kind of comments regarding mental illness. Like, it's a very sensitive issue for me, personally, and just as a psych student that I feel really passionate about. So I hope that you guys can respect that, respect my opinions on it. Just bear that in mind. These are all my opinions on things. I can be hypocritical at times, so if you go back to a past video at some point, you might be able to find some hypocritical stuff. I don't know, but just, this is me now, me sharing my opinions now, as I'm more educated because I've gone through more schooling regarding psychology, so just keep that in mind. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what kind of advice type videos you want me to do next, and mental health type videos. Once my class is over, my careers in psych class, I will be doing a careers in psych video, because I've learned so much in that class. It's a required class for my bachelor's and it has helped so much. Like, I highly recommend that class if you can take it. But anyway, look forward to that video. I hope you enjoyed and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I'm just gonna clean the office tomorrow, eh?
Hi guys, so as the title says, I got my nose pierced.